Hi, and welcome once again to the Bruce Channel. I'm Bruce and delighted that you're with us. If you've been here before, you know that it's an eclectic mix, sort of a video magazine for the net. Anyway, the goal is to provide an amalgam of elements, and I think so far we've managed to do that reasonably well. I would encourage you to subscribe, and please, if you enjoy this, help spread the word. One way to do that is just tell people, of course. tinyurl.com/Bruce Channel gets you here, and you can watch all of the shows. Or if you are encouraging someone to be here who has not been here before, you might recommend that they watch the shows from the bottom up. That way they can be seen sequentially. Of course, another way is to use social media, so if you're on Facebook or Twitter or any of the others, by all means, share, like, send a tweet, send a toot, or whatever is apropos. At the end of last week's show, I mentioned that if a viewer should know film director Paul Thomas Anderson, they should urge him to watch last week's show. And if they did, they should then also tell him I said, turn blue. What's that about? Just this. Paul Thomas Anderson, whose films include Magnolia, There Will Be Blood, and just about to be released, Inherent Vice, was born in California. But his dad was Ernie Anderson. And for several years, Ernie was the biggest thing on local TV in Cleveland, where I grew up. Ernie hosted low-grade, that's being kind, low-grade horror movies on Friday nights after the late news, which is, of course, what a kid would watch. He did it in the persona of Ghoulardi, and he was outlandish, especially given the times. He had us all saying ridiculous pet phrases, among them, turn blue and stay sick. Ernie later went to California. He hit the big time. Many years he was the voice of ABC. He was also the booth announcer on America's Funniest Home Videos. But he is best known for saying, "The Love Boat." Yeah, I can't do it. Anyway, I said last week I would tell a tangential anecdote. Ernie was not from Cleveland, from Massachusetts instead. But his best buddy was. And they did some early morning TV together. This was pre-Ghoulardi. Who was that best buddy? Tim Conway, best known for being part of the cast on the Carol Burnett Show, and also as Dwarf. I met him at his class reunion. I don't know how many years they were celebrating, but the Chagrin Falls High School class reunion that year was held at a hotel in Aurora, Ohio, where my band was the house band. I can tell you this, he's a genuinely nice guy. Not only is he nice, he's a genuinely funny guy. Okay, also from last week, several viewers all ask pretty much the same thing. When and where can we see Samka? And the answer is, I don't know. When I do, I will tell you. But Samka leads me to this. I previously had a role requiring a British accent on stage. That is, I played Arthur in Camelot.
He asked so prettily, I just couldn't. What?
Jenny, this is appalling. There are obviously issues here which you have overlooked. It will appear to the court as though you are rooting for his downfall, championing Lancelot's defeat.
All right, as I was preparing for Samka, I wanted to improve on that accent, and I discovered a wonderful acting coach in New York by the name of John Windsor Cunningham. British by birth and now a naturalized U.S. citizen, he helps Americans sound British and also coaches Brits to sound like a Yank. Now, you might not care about that, but although a serious actor known worldwide, he also spoofs British aristocracy in a series of videos. Here's an excerpt from one.
What would I do? Well, the first thing to do, the very first thing, well, one of the first things anyway, is education. Education. And I would have the books and plays of Noel Coward taught in all schools. Now, there would be objections and some strange results in some cases, possibly. But think about it.
All right, you can watch all of them live if you'd like, or not live, but you know, the videos. Just go to madenglishman.com. All right, I am not a curmudgeon. For one thing, I'm not nearly old enough. And for another, no one has a monopoly on the truth, so I don't try to criticize everything. I've been wrong so often, it's only because that there is already Wrong Way Corrigan that I'm not known as Wrong Way Bruce. I mean, that wouldn't show much originality. But there's a thing that's making its way across the internet and Facebook, and it just clangs. So, I'm going to set about fixing it. The thing I speak of is this. It reads, This year, December has 5 Mondays, 5 Saturdays, and 5 Sundays. You know, that isn't even true this year. Okay. This happens once every 823 years. This is called money bags. So share it and money will arrive within 4 days based on Chinese feng shui. All right, I've seen this for almost every month. Any month with 31 days could qualify, and sometimes it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. All right, here's the thing. If you wanted to, you could buy or even make all the calendars you would ever need. Do you know how many you require? 14. You'd need 7, with January 1st on all 7 days, Monday through Sunday, and then another 7, same thing except including February 29th, leap year. That's it. Those are the only possible combinations. Now, depending where leap year is, any one date is leap year last year, next year. That's why it cycles unevenly. However, the calendar always recycles back to the same point every 28 years, not 823. New Year's Eve this year is Wednesday. Go back 28 years to 1986 and voila. All right, full disclosure. I'd mentioned I grew up in Cleveland, so it shouldn't surprise I'm a Buckeye and that I'm glad they made the first football playoffs, yes. But I'm especially glad because I didn't want this to be seen as sour grapes, which it might have been had they not made it. The playoffs need to expand to 8 teams, and I've been saying that long time, long before I read or heard it anywhere else. Under the old BCS system, number 1 played number 2, and sometimes that was fair. They were clear cut, but sometimes it wasn't so fair. Just a few years ago, Boise State went undefeated. Numbers 1 and 2, one of them anyway was not, but Boise State wasn't included. They weren't from one of the Big 5 conferences. They had valid arguments to be good enough, but they weren't listened to. And other years, teams 3 or 4 might have had the same legitimate argument. This year, TCU and Baylor are both making a similar argument, and they have merit. I don't think anyone from the number 9 and 10 schools, even their most ardent partisans, would honestly argue that they belong there. So include the top 8, let them earn their way forward, and no one has a beef. Now the other reason I'm in favor of it then would include a school likely from all of the Big 5 conferences, namely the SEC, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10. It would add a week to the schedule, but not long ago, the season ended New Year's Day. So in today's climate, what's another week? The real challenge would be coordinating through the various bowl contracts, and that would be difficult, but it could be done. All right, back after this word. Hey, let me tell you about my book, Shrink. Or wait, I can let others do it. Welcome back. In this show's pre-launch promotional videos, and again in the inaugural, a component was mentioned that hasn't yet appeared, and that's political commentary. We will get to it, but it's the season of goodwill, so I thought I'd largely table it until next year. Largely. But this one is time perishable, so here goes. I fail to understand a particular sentiment I frequently encounter. It seems people take umbrage, and then they express that umbrage in this way. I'm not afraid to say Merry Christmas, or let's put Christ back in Christmas. I don't know anyone who is afraid to say Merry Christmas. And since Christmas, the word, is derived from Christ's Mass, I don't think they've ever been separated. I say and hear a lot of Merry Christmas, and it's intended for those whom I know to be appropriate, that is, Christians. Now, it's true I also say season's greetings and happy holidays, and I hear that often also. Who says that? Department stores, advertisers on TV and radio? Wonder why that is. Might it be because their message, whether atop a tall building or inside a store or during a commercial, during the game, the message is going to a wide audience, not to Christians, not to Jews, just whoever is watching. So isn't it just kind of, polite to offer a nice wish, a nice generic wish to a disparate audience, I will wish my Jewish friends Happy Hanukkah, which starts this Tuesday evening, the 16th, and ends the evening of the 24th. Wow, that's Christmas Eve. The next day is Christmas, and the day after that, the 26th, Kwanzaa begins, which is several days. So there are a lot of holidays, and Happy Holidays strikes me as a perfectly nice way to say to a group of people that you wish them good things this time of year. Ben Stein is both conservative and Jewish. He recently wrote, "It doesn't bother me a bit when people say, 'Merry Christmas.' I don't think they are slighting me." And he, of course, is right. But it goes both ways. Happy Holidays isn't meant as a slight. So why should anyone become upset if they're wished happiness? Happy Holidays, does that really sound like an insult? Okay, we mentioned the holidays. Here's a little holiday cheer.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. We ran into a drifted bank and there we got upset. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
You guys gonna sing?
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Okay, full disclosure, I didn't write that one. But you know, you can still send Michael and Bruno and Vince this way, and Steven Spielberg, why not? All right. Write us at the Bruce Channel at yahoo.com. Now to my Jewish friends, I say, indeed, Happy Hanukkah. And to all of you, I hope this upcoming week is the best one you've ever had.